Okay, so, girls, how's it going?
It's been good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You happy with how things are progressing?
Yeah.
Okay, have you completely finished your storyboards now?
Yeah.
Great, and is that with your new, more narrative idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a breakdown. What happens? What happens to the plasticine characters?
They die at the end. It's basically the whole music.
Oh yeah, that was my idea actually, wasn't it? So they get put in the bin. Yeah, sorry.
The whole thing is basically, it focuses on all the separate band members, and the whole thing's basically a journey of them trying to get to this gig at
The plasticine band members or the real band members?
Basically, the plasticine band members see this sign of this real band,
Okay.
who are like real,
Yeah.
and they think, oh yeah, we're going to go perform at this gig because they want to be these tonic band members. Obviously, they're not. So then, when they go to the gig and perform at the end, the real band members show up, and then obviously
And get rid of them because
Yeah.
they're like, excuse me, you're pretending to be
Yeah.
us. That sounds really
that's
good.
the
Brilliant.
narrative.
That is a great narrative for a music video. Simple, it'll be easy to communicate. Okay, and the good win then. How have you managed to get everything in there?
We've done quite a lot of it.
We just don't have intertextual references.
Neither does anyone else. It's funny that that's the one that nobody's managed to have. Okay, I think certainly there's something about the idea, your general idea and the styling of your animation that actually is quite reminiscent of that Blur Coffee and TV video. So you could certainly have that as maybe a kind of broader intertextual reference. And I think Blur is probably the kind of band that your band would want to be referencing, isn't it? You know, it's kind of a similar genre. They're quite iconic in that whole Britpop thing. Aside from that, what you need to think about is what you want to communicate about the band through the intertextual reference. So what is it about their image that you want to highlight? So, because if you're referencing, say, a particular film, then it's going to be a film that kind of says something about them as a band. So if you're trying to say that you're trying to represent them as being quite cool, aren't you?
Yeah.
Kind of cool, indie. Is that the kind of vibe you're going for? Laid
Yeah.
back, chilled out, and British? Are you trying to highlight their Britishness as a band, or not really?
Sort of, because it's sort of highlighted through their clothing and stuff, and just their appearance. You would look at them and go, yeah, they're British, because
Yeah.
they're not really glamorised or anything.
Okay,
So
which is
I
great.
guess in a sense.
Yeah, and I think actually in terms of branding, it is very cool to be British at the moment,
Yeah.
particularly, and America particularly loves anything British. So I think a record label would also go for that as a kind of branding tactic, if you like. So in that case, you might want to pick a reference to something that is iconically British. So I was talking about similarly with another group, films like The Italian Job, you know. So I don't know, in yours, you could actually could you even get an Italian Job reference in there if you had toy minis?
We actually have that.
Yeah,
in
we
it.
do. We have little mini toy cars in it.
Yeah.
But are they mini?
Yeah, they're
They're
actual minis.
minis. What
Yeah.
colour are they?
Red.
Red, white, and blue.
No. I actually think I
Isn't
think
it
I
red,
do
white,
have.
white and
I
black?
think my brother has like one
We've got a
like
red
that as
one.
well.
Wasn't
Yeah.
there a red one and a black one?
Yeah.
Or in a yellow one?
And do we have the Union Jack on top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the Union Jack on it.
If you could get hold of red, white, and blue minis, then you could maybe have a sequence in there. So if you Google or you go on YouTube and have a look at the Italian Job mini sequence, I mean you've probably either seen it or you would have seen other references to it, because it's even in the recent mini advert, I think, was it? Where they had minis kind of driving downstairs and stuff. The new minis. Was there?
I think so.
Yeah, it's all that kind of thing basically. And obviously there is a new version of the Italian Job. I don't know if you've seen that, the one with Matt Damon, I think, in it. No, you haven't seen
I
that?
haven't seen it.
Oh.
I've heard of it, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, you don't even necessarily need to watch the whole film, but just have a look at some of those mini sequences. It was basically it was red, white, and blue minis kind of chasing around. So given that because most people wouldn't be able to obviously recreate that sequence because you haven't got like 3 full-size minis to drive around. But since yours is animation, you could do something with mini cars. And then, so if you kind of reshot a sequence that looks like something from the Italian Job, basically, then that would be a really nice way of referencing something that's very iconically British and something that's also very cool. And I think the Italian Job is the kind of film that an indie band would kind of appreciate. Aside from that, you could look at other artists from the past that you could say have inspired your band. and you could look at either their videos or their style or something about, you know, something that they're kind of well known for that you might be able to incorporate into your video. So what kind of have you said who your influences are?
Yeah, it's like the Verve, Oasis,
Yes.
Blur, those sort
The
of bands.
90s.
Yeah, the really 90s.
The
sort of
90s
style
Britpop
bands.
era.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's my time. So yeah, in that case, you could look back and either reference something from one of the music videos of that period, or even a film that was big in that period, or something else that was going on, you know, kind of in society during that period. Things that I remember is stuff like the Brit Awards were really big then, and it was that Brit Awards where the Spice Girls came and Geri Halliwell wore the Union Jack dress.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a time when it was really like cool to be British. So I don't know if there's something else